Hello and welcome to Down the Track. Today is a very, very special episode. I have with me my co-host Abra Aziz, and we will be talking about the man, the legend, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who's announced his retirement. Abra, I know you're a huge fan of him. First of all, how are you? How are you doing?
All good, all good. It's just heartbreaking news for me. Big fan of Dhoni for the Indian cricket team. Not so much in the yellow, but
Yeah.
big fan of him in the for the Indian cricket team, and he's done so much for this for Indian cricket. So uh, just uh, uh, still kind of taking that in.
Sinking in, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
just kind
think uh the fact that the T20 World Cup got postponed, I think that was the nail in the coffin. Maybe there's an outside chance of him playing the T20 World Cup.
I honestly, if things were better, I mean, if Corona wasn't there and if it was a normal world, he would have probably played the IPL to kind of just get back into the thick of things, and then his retirement would probably be the T20 World Cup. I think that's what was going on in his head, and he would have IPL would be kind of the practice to kind of get through and get fit again and get back match practice and then finish off with the T20. But then T20 moves to next year, and then he is just maybe of almost another full year left, and maybe he decided that is what is enough, and just with a typical way, sudden retirement of Test cricket, and just like we expected him, not too much drama, just quietly went away again, even over here. Hats off, legend, the man, the legend, came, saw, conquered.
Yeah, and I think like when he came just before he came, India was struggling with wicket keeping batsmen wicket keepers who could bat,
Yeah,
and like win games, finish games, and he's exactly what the doctor ordered. First, like his thoughts on his batting when he came in, like long hair, everything, attacking batsmen, very aggressive. He toned down completely towards the end. He was more calculated, but like in the beginning, he was a basher of the ball, and he used to smash it all over the park. Uh, yeah, your thoughts on Dhoni, the batsman, initially?
he incredible. I mean, just came out and he really took the bowlers to the cleaners. I mean, the kind of way the power that he kind of with every shot that he brought in, that 183, no one can forget that amazing innings. He came up the order, really smashed the ball all over the park, and just just a very unorthodox a little bit because of his way of batting. But then he created that helicopter shot and things like that, and so fast between the wickets, like 3 or 4 steps, and he's always
Yeah, running between the wickets,
between.
excellent.
Excellent. Very important. If you notice a very good batsman, he can really hit the ball out of the park for sure, but he can also take those quick singles, rotate the strike, keep the scoreboard kicking. That's very important, and he did that very well. He was exactly like you said, what the doctor ordered, because we tried a bunch of people with that wicket keeping batsman role, and it just didn't work out. And then over the next 10 years, he kind of just took that role over, and there were a few that unfortunately because of him couldn't get the spot that they would have otherwise probably gotten.
Yeah,
But the likes of Dinesh Karthik and stuff, who could have easily made the team if not for Dhoni. But
yeah.
nowadays,
And yeah, like for me, that it was like that Pakistan game 148. I think that was his first century
yeah,
in Vishakhapatnam. Like that, I think set the scene for everybody. Everyone's like, wow. And I think he cemented his place as a batsman. Keeping wise, there's a lot of players around him who were better at that time. There's a lot of people waiting in the wings, keeping.
right.
But the way he evolved as a keeper, just very unorthodox, quick stumpings. Very sharp on his quick on his feet. In the beginning, there was a lot of criticism, if you remember, about his keeping. He used to drop catches, especially in test matches with the swinging ball, like in England. He was a bit uncomfortable, but the way he evolved as a keeper, your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I mean, you said it right. I mean, he had the issues with keeping initially. He knew that he accepted that as a issue in his batting and his keeping. He worked hard on it, and he became such a great keeper. Like, I mean, the kind of stumpings or stuff that we've seen from him towards the middle and towards the end of his career, he's just significantly improved that, and one of the best wicket keepers that India has ever produced. I mean, honestly, with respect to some of the others as well, but. Uh, Incredible improvement. He's
A
batting.
lot of hard work went into that, because it wasn't like he did that from day one. This was worked hard. Like, he had talent, but as a keeper, what he started doing in the last 5 to 10 years, he wasn't doing that in the beginning. So he worked on that, definitely.
Absolutely, 100%. And credit where it's due. I mean, he worked hard on it, and then the results showed at the end of the day, right? He was uh, one of the best wicket keepers that I've seen in the modern day era. I mean, there are a few others that were very good as well. I'm sure, no doubt about that. But like you see these issues with wicket keeping at this point, right? There are people that you see Butler recently also, like he has his issues and stuff like that. But this guy was just on point. He was so good behind the wickets. Those quick jumpings, no one's ever going to be able to forget. And those kind of just those sly moves that he has, like he just pushes it onto the wicket. There's those instances where he just like guides the ball to the wickets and stuff like that, just like knocks it a little bit here and there. There's moments like that true magic, and he just knows where the wickets are, and always just that extra 1 or 2 milliseconds that has helped him and get some of the stumpings and runouts that always help. Those kind of things are quite something. I mean, hats off the keeper, the batsman, the legend.
Yeah, and now lastly his captaincy. He started off with a bang and he just never let it go. I think limited like Test match cricket, you could criticize him like I've done in the past as well. But he did get India the #1 ranking in Test matches as well. But when it comes to limited overs, there's no one better than MS Dhoni. That's what I feel like. But what are your thoughts on that?
I think honestly, like you said, he got the #1 ranking in the Test matches as well. Yes, they could have done. He could have
like his Test record wasn't the greatest, but yeah.
I agree. Some of the overseas tournaments he didn't win, and fair enough.
But that's a criticism of a lot of Indian captains. But I think, but I think Ganguly was an excellent Test captain. But in terms of limited overs, I don't think I've seen anybody like Dhoni. And he's done it with all types of teams. Like people say, Dhoni had an amazing team. I completely agree. In 2011, he had world-class players, right? And he had experience at everything. In 2007, he had a rubbish team. Like, I mean, we thought it was rubbish. It turned out to be a world championship. And 2013 Champions Trophy, it was a young team. It was Kohli wasn't the Kohli that we know now. And it was a youngish team. We had Ashwin, Jadeja, all young players. So he's done it with various squads, various things. And then in IPL, he's made Mohit Sharma and like people like that champions. So like, I mean, so Dhoni, the captain.
Absolutely. Dhoni, the captain is, this. I mean, I was the most heartbroken when he announced his captaincy retirement. And this is the 2007 was when Indian cricket was under a lot of pressure. Remember then the early exit from the 50-over World Cup, and all the big guys decided to kind of take a break from the T20 World Cup, and like you said, that has minimal experience. He just takes his team and goes on to win the 2007 World Cup. Hats off, does a great job. Manages this young team in the 2007 World Cup, wins that. Then he goes on to take on the Test captaincy, manages the stalwarts like Sachin, Dravid, Ganguly and stuff like that, goes on to win that.
And they won a CB series in between, which never happened for like such a long time.
So he does well over there. Then of course he kind of really figures out that okay, he knows what's up, and then he knows the 2011 World Cup is in India. He knows the conditions will favor him, so he makes a team. He just really builds that team, and that is his team. He goes out there, he wins that World Cup for India after 22 years. Was it 20 years? Almost like 20 years, more than that, 30 years almost. But he does that. 2 years later, the Champions Trophy, decides to leaves Test cricket. The IPL, the number of trophies he has, 3 or 4, whatever it is. I mean, that, and then he's quite extraordinary captain. I mean, with due respect, I honestly think that there is the Saurav Gangulis, there is the Virat Kohlis, there is a couple Daves but in my opinion, one of the best. I think he is the best captain that India has ever had. It's a controversial statement.
Yeah, but it's tough to argue. Like especially limited overs, I'll never argue with that. Like I think success speaks for itself. And in 2011, actually, I wanted to ask you, like, he had a world-class team, but managing players like Sachin, Sehwag, who are like 100 years, like more experienced, not 100 years, but like, you know what I mean? Like they have so much more game time, so much more experience, but to handle that combined with the youngsters, like he balanced like having a Raina in the team with Sachin in the team, and he took everyone together, and like he had Zaheer Khan in the bowling lineup, but then he had somebody like Munaf Patel, and he also gave Ashwin a quarterfinal in the he gave him his debut, or like it was one of Ashwin's first games in the quarterfinal against Australia in 2011. So the way he balanced experience and youth in 2011, we saw both in one team. So like that's an art in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, and he managed that team perfectly. I mean, there was nothing really that he did. I don't think he put one step wrong in that tournament. It was a clinical tournament. He did everything right, honestly. And in the end, just that moment of pressure, 25 for 2. They're two wickets down. Sachin, Sehwag both out quickly, and chasing a relatively big score in the World Cup final, which gets tricky always. You never know how that's going to go. And comes out, promotes himself, comes out, calms the nerves, finishes it off in style. I mean, what else
Yeah.
can you expect from the
Yeah,
man?
and to be honest, like I criticized him in the 2019 World Cup. Like I felt like he didn't play as fast as he could, and like there was some performances I was not happy with. But if you look at his peak years, like when in his peak years, he did everything for India. Like absolutely, he achieved everything. Like it's very difficult to criticize that. That was his peak when he was captain, batting, wicketkeeper. That was his peak from 2007 to 2014, 13, and he did everything.
Matter of inches, man. If he would have just finished that New Zealand run, you never know. You could
Then like it'd be difficult to argue with anything about against him. But yeah, I think yeah, it's been a wonderful career for Dhoni. A lot of success. I think captaincy wise as well, one of the best. He'll be always remembered for his captaincy. Like I'll put you on the spot. Like your favorite Dhoni moment. There's like so many, and it's very difficult to choose from. But if you had to choose one, I think I know which one it is. But
I just have to go with that sixer at the end and just winning the World Cup for India. For India, I mean, you and me have been cricket fans for the longest time, of course, and we've been watching cricket for a long, long time. And just to see that World Cup kind of victory was immense. I mean, the whole of India obviously celebrated, and it was just like I said, he promoted himself up, took the mantle on himself to go in and play the captain's role, finished it off in style. It has to be the moment for me. It's,
yeah,
it's very hard to argue with that. There were, like you said, many other good moments as well. The 2007 World Cup, a close second, also just the way he managed that tournament in general, giving uh, so what was his name?
Jugender Sharma.
Jogender Sharma, the last over.
There's a lot of theories. There's some theory that Harbhajan Singh denied the over, and then that's why he gave it. He was forced to give it, and everything. There's a lot of theories, but I will pick that as the moment. The 2007. I'll tell you why. Like I mean, I can't argue with you. Like you won the World Cup. That was 90 runs, unbeaten in a World Cup final, hitting the winning six. I think that is the greatest Dhoni moment. But I'm just personally picking the 2007 because it's a India-Pakistan final, right? Pressure is immense. Like, and despite whatever happened, if Bhaji denied it or whatever, but he walked to Jogender Sharma. He calmed him down after he got hit for the six. And this was his first captaincy thing, like to show so much composure. I used to see like I rate Ganguly really high as a captain, but I've seen I've seen Ponting bite their nails like in lesser tense lesser stressful situations. And this was like India Pakistan World Cup T20 final, first time you're ever captaining your team, and to show the calmness. You can say luck, you can say everything, I'm not arguing with anything like that, but to show that calmness, and he didn't flinch.
Absolutely.
And after when they won, he was just like very cool. Even 2011 when he hit that six, he was very calm about it. Like he didn't go crazy or anything. But that composure to show at that stage of your career, like imagine if it was like any of us, like a young guy captaining India for the first time, and you're given the opportunity because the seniors have not played, you would go crazy, take off your shirt and everything. Like, and just the composure he showed in an India-Pakistan final, I think that's the only reason I would pick that. But like I can't argue with anything you said. Like,
I mean, that's a close second for me as well. Like you're absolutely right. The kind of the pressure, the calmness, and the stuff that he showed. Just while you were saying, I also was reading on Twitter. There was something that went. There's not enough. I mean, at least today, there's not enough that was talked about in terms of. There's a lot been talked about his calmness and stuff like that. But he was a batsman who scored more than 10,000 runs, international runs, and at the average of 50 as a wicketkeeper. I don't think anyone else has that. I mean, it's just mind-boggling to kind of have those kind of numbers as a wicketkeeper and as a player who's more often than not come lower down the order for your team, right? So the kind of pressure that he put himself under when the top order is in performance stuff, and then kind of providing those goods when the Indian team needed it. It's quite stunning. Just kind of went off the topic there, but I just want to bring that out.
And he would come in situations where the game wasn't over. It wasn't like he came and scored a 50, and they only needed 50 of like 80 of 100 balls. He would come in situations where they needed a push at the end, and he would make sure he was there till the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
exactly the missing piece India needed before he came.
Absolutely, and then he created that world class team, and I mean, Virat Kohli is probably Sourav Ganguly did a lot for Indian cricket. He took it to the next level, and now Virat Kohli is of course trying to take it to the other on another level. But as you can see, he's finding it harder because it's that the benchmark is so high, So
I mean, it's complete. Like it's very difficult to take it to Dhoni's level. He's won everything. In our lifetime, apart from Ricky Ponting, I don't think there has been such a successful captain like in our time. Like in terms of trophies and the different variety of trophies as well.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, and he's done it with different teams and everything. Like it's been impressive. Even with Chennai, they didn't have the best team on paper every single time. Yes, they had a very good team, but like he's done it with.
The past 2 years only for Chennai Super Kings. They were a relatively older team, but
Yeah.
of course that experience has counted, and they've worked it to their advantage for sure, no doubt about that. They won one of the past two with a relatively older team. I mean, they beat Hyderabad in the 18, and then they lost to Mumbai in the 19. But
Yeah.
these two finals, they've literally been in almost every final. I can't remember maybe one or two times where they really didn't reach the semi-final or the final at least. This has been an incredibly successful IPL as well. Although for me, it really I don't like him in the yellow, but because of course the fact that I'm biased towards the Hyderabad team, but it's a very very incredible Indian run, very incredible Chennai run. He's a legend, no doubt about that. It is sad to see him go in blue, but it'll be. I don't have any reason to really like him anymore because of the yellow that he wear, but that doesn't take away the fact that he's a legend. And
yeah, Indian legend. He'll always be there. Always talked about as India's legend.
I only wish that I could see him in blue one more time to just give him a proper send off, but I guess that's gonna be something that will never come true. But yeah, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, yeah, it was great. Thank you so much. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to add? Oh, just one last question. Your future of who's going to be Dhoni's replacement initially?
Oh man, that's so hard. I think
I mean, we've already seen like Rishabh Pant. We've seen.
that guy who's going to take over. It's probably going to be different in different Saha's. Probably going to continue as the test keeper for some more time, maybe, or maybe you never know. Maybe they continue with a punt in the test and kind of give someone else. There's a lot. It's kind of back to where it was before Dhoni. There's a few options, and they're going to try a few out and see which one really kind of clicks, I guess.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to see that kind of consistency that Dhoni gave. It's going to be hard to kind of reiterate that and make that happen again.
Yeah.
Remains to be seen.
Yeah, sorry, I just got to remember one last question. Dhoni's future. Do you see a role in coaching? Do you see a role in commentary? Do you see any role in cricket, or he'll just go and start riding bikes and chill at home? Because with him, you can never predict, right? But
Yeah.
I just feel that he's been such a great captain. I think he, it's different. Like he's not. Like probably not a Sachin type player, but his captaincy and everything, it could be very useful, like in the coaching arena.
100%. I think but just the way Dhoni is, it's going to be hard. I'm definitely not. I'm going to be very very surprised if I see him as a commentator regularly. That's probably almost impossible. And I don't think that he'll take a more full-time role. In my opinion, I don't think he'll do that. Maybe if he really wants to, maybe he's going to just chill. He likes the army. He's going to probably work with the army. He's going to chill on his bikes and stuff like that. He probably do that. But maybe even after retiring as a player, he probably will contribute to Chennai in the backroom stuff. Maybe.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, because his understanding of the game and stuff, you would love to see him like in some role in the future because his understanding of the game is brilliant, right? Like the way he reads the game. We've seen as a captain, his field placements, bowling changes. He can read the batsman's mind. He tells where the bowlers to bowl. We saw what he did with Kuldeep in New Zealand. So he can really use that for the younger generation, or even in commentary, for the viewers, it'll be very exciting as well, just to see, because his reading of the game is so good. But I'm just like, I would just love to see him in some role, like probably coaching, like you said.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I also don't think that he'll be a full-time like proper head coach or something. I think he'll just come in as a mentor or something like that, just behind the scenes, kind of maybe help Fleming out a little bit with like nurturing players and stuff like that, because he does that well.
Yeah.
So maybe something like that. And that's like a 2-3 month kind of role, and then he'll just go back to chill and do his thing. The remaining 8-9 months, he's probably going to do his thing. We probably won't see him at all. And we'll kind of see him back again in the IPL. Even if he's not playing, he'll probably just have like a mentorship role or something of the sort. And Chennai will obviously give him whatever he wants to kind of stay with him, because he'll add that value even in the back room for sure.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, those are very valid points. I think we wrapped up a lot. I mean, we can never wrap up this topic. He's been an Indian legend. and one of your favorite players, I think, of all time. But thank you so much for coming on today. It was a lot of fun discussing this, and hopefully see you soon to discuss some more cricket.
For sure. Yep.
Take care, man. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.